Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fried Dice Paradice presents the Penelopean Islands. As you can see, we have different casts, different background. Today is the session 0 for our game, where they'll be in the same world. It's a living world. Whatever they do is going to affect the people who play in tomorrow's game, and whatever people do in the tomorrow game will affect whatever happens in this game, and vice versa. And that's really fun. This is the first time I've had two groups, and if you include next week's collaboration with eDice Podcast with them, Dave, there'll be 3 groups that are changing this world. So I'm super excited for it. And as you can see, these people are slightly different from the usual cast members that I have on this show because they are all cool content creators too. Some of them are on Twitch, and one of them's on YouTube. And I think just to make sure that y'all don't go into shock from all the new faces, let's start with a relatively familiar one, because he was in a recent he's already pulling his hair up to show off his handsome face.
I mean, hold on.
I hope you all like the names, by the way. Yeah, and because we're relatively new, for this week specifically, I will be a little bit like linear with how we go around with things. But I think as we talk more, it's gonna become more organic. So, Snowchickenlord, who are you?
Hi. Apparently, I'm your dad. But also, I am Snowchickenlord. You can catch me streaming over at twitch.tv/Snowchickenlord, where I run Tenacious D&D and All Bard Irreverent D&D 5e campaign. And also, I paint minis. And I got a new one. Can I show it? I'm gonna show it.
Yeah. I'm
gonna show the new one. Like, oh my god, I'm so excited for this one. Yeah.
Does that qualify as a mini anymore? That thing's huge.
Yeah, that's yeah. That's Miggy, or Biggie, whatever. Macro. At this point, that's macro, not mini. In any case, yeah, that's me. Hi. How you doing?
And I'll let you choose. Do you want to toss the ball, or do you just want to go in a sequential order that I've predetermined in my head?
Alright, speaking of craftspeople and people who I may have collaborated with in the past.
Just maybe.
You know, Snazzy?
Hi.
Who are you?
Hello, my name is Snazzy. Who am I? That's an interesting question. I'm a streamer. I guess I'm a clown, actually. That's probably the best description of who I actually am at my core. I stream on Twitch at Snazzybastrd without the E at the end. Yeah, I stream Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, Mondays, do video games, and I do crafting streams, as that's the connection here, right? Because I do Gundam miniatures, or rather Gunpla. So I do things like that. Yeah, every Saturday. So that's my claim to fame. Do I get to pick the next person? Or?
Hell yeah.
I mean, if you want another...
are we going? I guess, we can just go in order, right? So I would love to meet this handsome gentleman all the way on that side of the screen. over here.
No, ignore this.
Hi, I'm Rhorik2. I stream RPG content and also like variety video games on Twitch. Yeah, I make RPG maps every Monday. That's fun. Yeah, all different kinds of stuff.
I think Rhorik is like the first person I've ever collaborated with.
Yeah, we have. We
That's probably
cool. Together before.
Cool.
4 times.
Yeah.
Check out the Fried Dice Paradice YouTube channel, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, for a playlist of those 4 games.
Oh yeah, I did make a playlist back then. Yeah. Oh man, it feels like it was so long ago, but actually it's only been like 6 months.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I guess last but certainly not least, Panorama That I. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Not just name also. Hi, I'm Panda to you. I do YouTube videos. I do random stuff all the time. Don't ask me what my main focus is. I don't even know. Y'all were showing off things, so there's my collection of pandas.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And a friend made me a panda from paper.
Nice.
Oh, that's so cute.
So yeah, that's it.
I think I've made a panda origami before. I need to look for it and I'll send you a pic.
Please do. I'm mad that you haven't already. Just saying.
Also, by the way, just for those in chat, right? All of you who see all these names like Snowchickenlord, Snazzybastrd, Basil Tread, Rhorik2 and Panorama That I. No one calls them that except me for Snow Daddy specifically. So if you can get them to start responding to that name by the end of the night, I applaud you. And I will continue to use these names whenever I hang out on their channels or on YouTube or whatever.
Don't you dare.
I mean, yours is pretty snazzy. I would use yours in your chat. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
okay, Snowch Daddy, honestly, I respond to that already. That is not going to be difficult.
You know, I was gonna point this out, but I didn't want to make it weird. Seeing as Snowch Daddy is literally something I'm pretty sure I've called you.
Yeah.
At this point, who hasn't?
No.
Oh yeah, so okay, one thing that makes me really excited about this group, right, is that I believe we're all in different countries,
Yep.
Yes.
right?
True.
Which is why it's at the unholy time of 12 midnight for me, and the unholy time of who's earlier, Rhorik or Snaz? I think it might be Rhorik.
depends.
For me.
Yeah, at the unholy
I'm on
time of 8
I'm
a.m.
on
for Rhorik.
Eastern US, so it's 11 for me.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm West Coast, Vancouver, Canada.
Woo! So,
So
yeah.
what time is it for you?
I got up at 7 a.m.
Wow.
Cognizant for this.
I really hope
What
I really hope I
the
can keep it
fuck
up.
Is this group?
Yes, me too.
Yeah, and so today for all of you who are new to D&D or have never done a session 0 for some reason before, basically I'm gonna go through a really long list. This is something that I do with virtually every group that I do, just to make sure that we're all on the same page, and to make sure that we all maintain this as a safe space for all of us, and hopefully for chat as well. Generally speaking, I'm cool with being a bit mature on the content. We have a mature warning on this channel, so feel free to shoot your f-bombs, and if you use vulgarities a lot, it's totally cool. That being said, we will talk about potential topics that we might want to avoid, and I'll tell you all a bit more about the world just in case, because the world is inspired by my culture and like Southeast Asia in general, so it might not be exactly familiar, and I think that's the part that excites me the most, because right now COVID-19 sucks. I can't fly y'all here,
Thanks.
so this is the closest I can get to you.
It's like a weekly flight for a game, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be better to like
Okay,
actually
cool.
meet in the middle though? Like just
You're just saying that because you live in Europe.
It's
Yes.
it's more convenient for you.
You're
you're
than
not
it is-
wrong,
point.
Snazzy.
Because the other option is like meeting between Canada and like in the Pacific somewhere, and that's not conducive to D&D play usually.
Like,
The ocean.
Hawaii trip. That's
Oh, Hawaii trip. Oh, that's a plan. One day.
I've never been.
My
Go
true
to Hawaii.
now you've created my true dream. My true dream is one day having a live show with each of you somehow.
D&D from Hawaii.
Some magical
I mean-
way. That would be so cool.
That's
Also-
a $1 million idea that's also simultaneously useless. Because like, imagine trying to get 2 people to Hawaii, much less like a group of 5.
Oh yeah, and then find the table and the cameras and the production stuff.
But the beach.
Everyone has to bring like 2 pieces of equipment with them at all times. Like somebody's bringing the tripod.
Okay, before we get started on the actual gameplay stuff, quote unquote. Thanks Snazzy, Shameless, and Not Fenris for the follow. It was awesome. Hey, you all are awesome. And yeah, Shameless.
Oh, that's a great
It's hard to say, man. That's the point of the name, right?
It's all twisty.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'll also go through primarily rules that are different from the basic rule set. So if you guys, if y'all's download the basic rule set, I will send you this document as well. And then whenever there's a rule here that refers to that, it might be different from there. But more or less, if it's not mentioned today, it's most probably the same as the basic rules. Specifically pointing that at like Snowch and Rhorik because they know the rules. Oh, I wanted to ask a question, which segues back. I'm totally not. I have a list here and I'm not following it. So why do I even make a list in the first place?
Perhaps like excited, Joshi?
Very excited. I wanted when you all were introducing yourselves, I wanted to actually get you all to say what your experience of TTRPGs is, like watching it, if you actually played it, have you done other systems, and no experience is a very exciting answer. That being said, I know I won't say anything. I'll let you all do it. Let's do it backwards. Panda, do you want to start first, or do you want to shoot someone else first?
What? I must start. No, please somebody else starts. Just so I can see an example of what
Shoot someone.
Pew pew, snazzy. Or was I not supposed to like literally make them?
No, it's fine. Pew pew noises are my life, basically. So my experience with tabletop games is I've literally the only like tabletop that I've played briefly was the MechWarrior tabletop, and that involved just using a tape measure a lot. Like that's really the extent of my like I've never played Dungeons and Dragons. I know of Dungeons and Dragons. I've watched other people play Dungeons and Dragons. I get the basic concept of Dungeons and Dragons, but I've never actually played. So I guess file me down under noob. That'll be. I think that's an accurate description of my experience.
What is there below noob? Because I'm there.
Starter pack.
I thought noob was the low. I don't know. Is there like sub noob categories, like super noob, like ultra noob?
Cannon
Because
fodder.
that's where I am. Right there is that. I've seen the suffering and that you can die. That's all I know. You can die.
Why is that all you remember?
And I watch a lot of LA by Night. That's actually probably the biggest thing that I watch that's like tabletop related. So like, but I'm also realizing like that's a produced. It's like Critical Role. That's a produced show.
Yeah.
So it's like obviously I'm not expecting that going into a game, but like I don't know. I just like you know what it is. I just like vampires. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Fair.
Yeah.
All right, who are you shooting next, Snazzy?
If you don't,
Oh, you're right.
if you
I
don't mind,
have to pick somebody. Yeah. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I want to shoot the resident vampire again. Like, Snowch, would you?
Why am I the resident vampire all of a sudden? What?
You are.
Can you just test out a
Fancy, my
Transylvanian
friend.
accent?
What do you mean?
Just give it a whirl. Let's see if it sounds good.
I will suck your
Seriously.
blood.
Look,
I am not very
can you just try
motivated
and
to
bring
do
me to
this.
prom?
Seriously, Snowch, like among the 5 of us, I think you're the edgiest.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about that, but sure. Anyway, so my experience with role-playing games, I actually started fairly young. And interesting enough, I did start with Vampire the Masquerade with my brother. I was like, I don't know, I was like fucking 13 or something. Like, I was young. And nowadays, well, I played and ran games for years, and we just finished Tomb of Annihilation. Now I'm running Tenacious D&D, so I would
Very
say
excited for it.
like high experience, like, you know, level something, 69.
What?
Nice. Level 420.
Yes.
Oh, Seamus has it right. Snowch was a vampire kid from South Park, confirmed.
Fair enough.
Oh, man.
Fair enough. Hey, Rhorik. Like,
Hi.
would you like to get staked?
That seems oddly personal.
Excuse me? My experience with RPGs, I think I started when I was like 12 or 13 and I've been playing since. Yeah, that's a lot of years. More than half my life. So,
That's true.
well, a whole bunch
impressive.
of different games, but yeah. Yeah, it makes me feel old when I just realized it 5 seconds ago.
Don't
I
talk to me
never
about feeling
quantified it
old.
like that.
Am I the oldest person here, by the way? I feel like I am.
Ooh.
I feel like I'm the
I've-
oldest person here.
I don't know.
Probably.
Maybe.
But that's me in every group, though. But we don't have to do an age reveal. We could save that. We can save that for channel points.
This is just my brain processing
Ooh, that's not a bad
ages.
idea.
Okay, so now we know. I've been playing D&D specifically for 5 years. It's the first TTRPG I've ever played. Honestly, I feel like I should have played more games. I've only played like 3 or 4 other systems, but I think I've been streaming games for. I'm so excited. It's almost been a year, so hopefully, this translates to this group. And honestly, like as someone said, who was saying it just now? Was it Mark, or was it Jolly who said that the energy in this group is feeling good already? And yes, my throat's already dry from laughing, so that's good. That's good. All right. Session 0. So while we go through session 0, think if you already have a character concept, you can think of like possibilities how you might know the other characters, and again the 3 NPCs that you might know. For everyone in chat, thank you so much, Nemo Supremo, for the follow. Who's awesome? You're awesome. For everyone in chat.
Sorry.
The pitch that I gave that the players picked, I gave them 3 pitches and they picked one, was about them being basically like a Suicide Squad kind of group that works for this organization of 12, well, I wouldn't say evil, but they are typically antagonistic to the world. So we need to come up with a reason for why each of you are agreeing to work under them, right? Even though you may be most probably unwilling. But that being said, just to give you all some time to think about it, I'll talk about the rules first. For experience and leveling, I'll be using this system called the goals-based system. Last time when I told Snowch was like, "Oh no!" Basically, it's taken
Josh,
from a game.
I fucking suck at setting goals in RPGs.
It's I think it's from like Apocalypse World, another TTRPG. Basically, at the start of every session, you will tell me 3 goals as a player that you want for your character. So it is a metagaming experience. And if any point you don't understand anything that I'm saying, just feel free to interrupt me, and then someone here will explain what it is. So it's not what your character wants to do, but what you want your character to do. So wait for you all to tell me how you want the story to progress. That's the goal of it. And then there's a rating system. I'll send you all a document depending on how difficult it is. So if it's harder, you get more experience. If it's easier, you get less experience. And if as long as you work towards it, you'll get experience. If you work for all three, you get 3 times the experience, and so on and so forth. You will get used to it as we go through it. And some of the players from the other games, they're still like, I don't know, I have 2 goals, but usually that's where we have a discussion about what goals we all might collectively want, right? Because in my experience, having goals that kind of align does help the group overall. The second topic is player behavior, game behavior. Oh, thanks so much, Seamus, for the sub and the gift sub. I will give you a nay on Monday. My throat is super dry today. Second topic is player behavior, game behavior, and expectations in general. Just to be clear, I'm totally cool if you want to drink alcohol. If you drink alcohol at 8 a.m., Rhorik, I'd be impressed, man.
That ain't me.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be me.
Narcotics, as long as you can function, like, it's cool, right? And it's legal in your country. That's most important. It's legal in your country because that's TOS.
Oh,
Sure, these fucking things are illegal.
Oh.
If these are illegal here, I'm in trouble.
Cell phones, I don't know, whatever. I'm cool with it. I trust you all. And player attention. Generally speaking, I think I've seen you all before. We're all cool people. We're not gonna be dicks about, like, oh, I'm not happy with you today, so I'm just gonna show up and not talk or something like that. Like, I don't think that's likely to happen. This one's a touchy one. Top. What?
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Wow, that was a strong one.
Disruptive topics. So anything you all don't want to talk about, and this is where we spend a moment to think about it. I typically in my games I avoid rape, torture, and anything too sexual. I just don't think it's necessary. If for some reason it somehow becomes necessary, I'll most probably montage it. My players in the Magic the Gathering game, one of the other campaigns that I run, love to flirt and try to sleep with the non-player characters. And okay, if you really want to, okay, but I'm gonna montage through anything not PG.
That's fair.
That's fair. Yeah.
Fade to black.
I'll limit to hitting on 1 bar wench at a time.
Oh yeah, man. This is a new campaign. Feel free to tell me of the ads, and then I think you can see their channels. Another thing that has been suggested before. I mean, I avoid real life politics for obvious reasons. Anything else that you guys can think of that we want to avoid?
So this is a fairly specific request, but I have a thing with brains where I'm just like, please don't describe any. Just don't.
No brains.
Brains?
Specifically brains.
What?
Yes.
No, you know what? I'm actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I'm with you. Please do not describe the fleshy thing that drives my meat suit.
Okay,
I'm
so
okay
if
with
I
that.
say like slimy but or whatever, and I start describing it, and I say lungs at the end, it's fine. Just to see the boundary.
That's a fair distinction, though. Like, is it gore or is it specifically brains?
No, like for some
Yeah,
reason
like-
I just like brains. Like just leave that alone.
Okay. Specifically brains. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's legitimate.
Specific.
Are we going to
but
be
legit.
using like the X card type of thing, or?
Yeah, I'll get to that later. If it's on, you know what? Since we're talking about it already, on Foundry, if you click, there's this top left-hand side, directly under the anvil, there is a player controls tab. And then in that player controls tab, you'll see an X. That is an X card. If you click on it, yep, someone clicked on it and it'll pop out and it's anonymous. So I will never know no one can track back who's the one who clicked it.
Sorry,
Right?
where is it?
I mean, in the player controls, it's the very top left-hand side. That's what the X card looks like on stream. And then it's the first X below the ruler.
For me, it's like near the bottom.
Oh yeah, or it might be near the
left
bottom.
Drop-down menu type thing.
Yeah, so all of you can try pressing on the X for today. Every time I tell people about it,
there
they
it
start
is.
spamming it. Yep.
There it is. Okay, gotcha.
Cool. Right. Because sometimes I'll never do it on purpose, but I might accidentally talk about a brain for some reason, and then that's a good time to shoot the X card. All right, but I will, as far as 12 a.m. brains work, I'll try to keep away from brains for all our games.
But it's also
And
a bit
then-
like, oh, I didn't think I wouldn't be okay with this, but I'm
Yeah.
suddenly not okay with this.
Yeah.
Doesn't
And
need to
in
be about, right?
Yeah, and in the future, if there's anything that you are not into for some reason, just use the X card. It's basically extra precaution, because I want it to be explicit that I will never intentionally try to make you uncomfortably uncomfortable. Like, I want you guys to feel things, like maybe sad or happy or angry. Like, that explains it better.
Uncomfortable within safe limits.
Yeah, uncomfortable within safe limits. Yeah. So the moment it pushes that safe boundary, that's when we use the X card. Dice rolls. So one thing I like to tell players explicitly is technically the dice rolls are just meant to arbitrate if you try to do something that has the potential to fail. So we'll focus more on what your character wants to do, and then if it requires a roll, then we'll open up the sheet and roll the specific thing. So try to avoid unannounced dice rolls where you're like, oh, I attack, and you immediately click it, even though maybe you could immediately hit the creature or something. I think as we play more, we'll get used to it. I'm also cool with player versus player or dice roll against each other, as long as players we agree on it first.
Yeah, I
Right?
think
And
it's
again, it's one of those things,
fair.
as we play more, we'll get used to it.
Yeah, it's fair to just
Like,
ask,
if you
hey,
wanna
are
lie-
you okay with me like initiating PvP right now? Because I think it makes sense. I've done that a lot.
Yeah, or if you're just like, oh man, I think we should fight now.
You can
Right,
just have the by
like-
mistake.
Yeah, that's a thing.
I feel like with a suicide
So I'm very
squad
concerned
setting.
about dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll probably end up fighting Snoch. It'll happen.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't?
Somebody's gonna get slapped. It's just a question of who.
Fun. As long as it's all in good fun. Player character secrets. Like, I'm cool if you want to keep a secret from each other, or if you want to. God damn it, Seamus. 69. Nice.
Nice.
If you want to have a secret from each other or from chat, just take a moment to think about it, whether it really needs to be a secret or not. Because I think there have been more times where a secret didn't really need to be a secret, and then they kept it a secret and just made things awkward for me, mostly. And of course, we often want to keep secrets from chat, right? So if you have backstory stuff that you want to DM me, that's totally fine as well.
Yeah, I think it's always fun to have those open secrets that like players know about, but like
Yeah.
we just play around it all the time, and just like
Yeah.
inch towards it every now and then.
Oh, I'm happy with that. I can't think of any at the moment, but I'm cool with it.
Yeah, and I'll share this document with you all. So if we ever need to update it, we will. And if everything goes according to plan, after the number of sessions, we have stipulated this will last between 10 to 20 sessions, and then after that we'll reevaluate and see if we want to spend another 10 to 20 sessions. I usually do another session 0 in between, just so that to refresh, to make sure that we're all still on the same page. Player expectations. The 3 goal system is your way to tell me what you want. If you have a fancy voice, go ahead and use it. If you don't have a fancy voice, it's perfectly fine. That being said, try to avoid anything that might be questionable in terms of morality. And if you're not sure, just let me know, and I'll most probably know. I've gone through many accents prior to streaming. General goals, again, just to be explicit, mainly that we all have fun. Right? And at the end of the arc, we're all like, oh, that's a story. That's a story that I really enjoyed. My personal goal, and I mentioned it briefly just now, is I like to make my players feel things. I typically run more deadly games, so your characters are likely to not survive. But that being said, I want my goal is to make you feel things and not necessarily kill your characters. Specifically for Snaz and Panda, I'll tone down on the lethality until you all are more comfortable with your characters.
I was kind of hoping I get to like role play a zealot from StarCraft. Today's a good day to die.
That
What's
being
the
said,
strongest character I can play that won't die?
Play a barbarian. Play a barbarian. Straight up, play a barbarian.
The easiest way is just make sure one of your party's a necromancer. That way you can't die, right? And just
Yes, bring people back from the dead.
you shall have your brother.
I wanted to say something, but it skipped my head.
It's easy to raise a family if you find the plot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
It'll come to you when you least expect it, Josh.
Is there a way to ban puns?
Ban
No.
puns?
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You can
It'll
do like
never-
pun damage.
It'll never fly.
I'll see
Damn damage.
myself out.
I think I saw another channel do it where whenever a player makes a pun, the DM rolls a d10,000, and then if he hits 10,000, the character immediately dies.
Hi.
Pun critical damage.
Yeah.
We
No, I won't do
remember
that. I
we
won't do
did that during Tomb, but like the 1000 roll if 1000 was inspiration.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. You did. Y'all
Not
did that for
death.
Tomb. Is there anything that you specifically want out of this game? That all 4 of you specifically want out of this game?
Not to die.
Not today. That's a good
I was gonna say like not to fuck up.
True.
Like that's my goal is to like not ruin the game for everyone else. That's my goal. If I can get through the game without that, I'll be happy. I don't care what happens after that.
Even if you die.
Even if I die.
Yeah, like player sacrifices for each other are always super emotional to me. Like even until now, there's some PCs that have died under my rule, who I still tear up whenever we talk about them. Like I not like tear up, but like it does make my heart a bit. Player.
Let's be real.
Player.
Chat's probably sorry. Go ahead.
That's probably what.
I was gonna say chat probably has like a running pool on if Snowch will die again. Like they're not telling us, but there's betting going on the side. I bet. Blur's probably ringleading it too.
Snazzy. Do you want me to actually build a character that is going to be optimized to the maximum so I just kill everything before it gets to me?
Up to you, friend.
I like that though. Prediction: Will Snowch's character die today? Right.
Will Snowch's character die today.
Yeah, okay. So I'll put that here. Will
Chat predictions.
chat predictions.
Yeah.
Will Snowch character die today?
Will he die during the
It's
zero
such a
session?
awesome.
Yeah.
You're awesome. maybe
That's a
not
new
today.
land speed record when it comes to death, right? Zero session death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My very
Dead on
first
creation.
my very first streamed game, 2 of the characters died,
Ooh.
Wow.
and after that I was like, oh no.
I used to play like
the-
RPGs by post for a while. There was one character specifically, which is like, you know, I went through all the character creation, was like a lot to do. And then, like, first post, I write in, like, to the town, I get blown up, and then like 5 posts later, I'm just dead. Like, well, that was wonderful.
No
Rip.
ways, guys.
Right. The next topic is player agency. So I like typically for first time actions, like if you're casting a spell for the first time, if you're attacking for the first time, and of course when you kill a monster or do something outwardly cool. Sometimes I'll suggest something, but it's not canon until you agree or you have your own description as well. Right? So I want you to feel cool with your character. It's not canon until you agree with it. Yeah, and that's the same for any backstory stuff as well. Yeah. And if for some reason you're not feeling creative that day, and it's perfectly fine to say I want to bonk it on the head, or something as simple as that, and then I'll try. You know why I picked that one specifically?
Just like,
But,
just like play the bonk sound effect.
Yeah. And I'll help cover for you. Like it's totally fine. It's hard to come up with 50 ways to say I slashed a goblin. So perfectly fine. Game balance and fairness. As I mentioned, I generally speaking run deadly games. If ever it's too deadly, just let me know. I think it's more likely to be too deadly than too easy.
I think I'm gonna be playing like hard mode with all the disadvantages coming my way from Seamus.
Yeah.
You know what? I just gotta make the enemies roll, not me.
Yeah. Yeah, and I already said I'll tone down the deadliness at least for the first couple of games until Snaz and Panda get on their feet. Rules
Appreciated.
debates. If you know a rule that's wrong, please tell me. Chat. If you know a rule that's wrong, please tell us and post the page if you have the page. If it's something that's questionable, we'll speed through it. I'll come up with the final decision, and then we can like properly look for the actual ruling post game, so that we don't spend like half an hour figuring out whether carrying too much weight gives you negative speed or ability score decreases or so on and so forth, other complicated stuff. Spotlight sharing, honestly, so far I think I really trust all of you with, so like it's only been 46 minutes and you all are already really good at passing the spotlight around, which is amazing.
It might
I'm very
come
excited
with
for
the
that.
territory of what we do on this
Yeah.
platform and
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Yeah, do you all know what metagaming is?
No, just explain in case.
I sort of know the concept.
So what I see metagaming as is any knowledge that you have that your character might not know.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm honestly, generally speaking, I'm cool with having off-character discussions because we're not wizards, we're not fighters, we're not like these superpowered beings that we'll be playing. So that perfectly explains why we need time to think and discuss about what our character might not actually do. But sometimes there'll be information that we know that gives an unfair advantage or unrealistic advantage for a character. For instance, the most obvious one I can always think of is that because we're using a virtual tabletop, you know how big the map is, right? And then sometimes you're like, oh, I need to go west because the east is the end of the map. Right, that's metagaming. That's just a very obvious one. Generally speaking, I think of what your character would do rather than what you would do. And I feel like newer players tend to accidentally do it more often. And then older players who are dicks will abuse that. But I trust Snowcha and Rhorik, so right?
I mean, we are dicks though.
Oh.
And I've seen Snow shoot himself in the foot before on game though, in game. So
On purpose.
all the more.
Let me say it this
Yeah, on
way.
purpose.
Why?
Because it's fun.
Or this, it's a
This is
correct
funny.
thing to do. It's a story.
No, like for real, sometimes it is fun to just have your character fail miserably.
I'm totally cool with min-maxing. As long as it's like there's narrative behind it. If you're min-maxing for the point of breaking the game, which is unlikely, I think it'll be pretty obvious. Character party fit. When we're designing our characters, again, like it ties back to the how do your characters know each other. One of the things I like to do is characters who have individually met each other, but not in one group. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they're like, oh wait, I know you and I know you. Oh, 2 or 3, and then they become a group like that. The last topic for player behavior is murder hoboism. I trust y'all are here for the story and not for the let's kill everyone that exists. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go with that. No, I'm here for the story.
Yeah, and the experience style we have doesn't give you experience for killing everyone, so I doubt it'll happen.
What if we set ourselves a goal? I want to kill everything in my path.
The system. Now what?
What can I do?
I
We'll
think
try.
the character idea that I have in my head is like belligerent, but not necessarily out to murder. Like, if that's the thing.
I mean, like great characters are always
Yeah. You could be grumpy and violent and not a murderer.
Exactly.
For my style, we already talked about X card. I generally speaking like to look at rules as intended over rules as written. And I would like to have I tried my best to put the story first instead of the mechanics. We already talked off screen about player absences if it comes about. And generally speaking, the game will be sandbox, which means theoretically you can go anywhere that you all want. If the quest that you pick is to go to a cave that's to the east, but you decide to go west instead, theoretically it's possible. Generally speaking, try to tell me a week ahead so I can plan for it. We already talked about topics you don't like. If you come up with anything, again, just let me know and I'll update the document. You can play characters who are not your gender or sexual orientation, and I'm also avoiding slavery.
Okay.
Doesn't exist in this setting. Character creation, I generally speaking like to work from concept first and then work back. And theoretically, based on the notes I've made for this world, you should be able to pick virtually any race or any class that you can think of. If you can think of it, I most probably have it in the world somewhere, and then we can pull from the cultural background that I've designed over the past 5 years, and then we can weave it in. And of course, there's like migration and stuff like that. So even if you're from a different continent, you may have grown up in this continent. But let's say, for instance, in the Penelopean Islands specifically, there's a lot of humans. There's a lot of Ganassi, which are like genie folk. They're like elemental beings. And a lot of Kenku and orcs, right? But then if someone wants to play like a Furbolg, for instance, in the other campaign, he migrated a couple of years back as a trader. And then that's the backstory that we compromised with. Right? So that's what we'll be doing for most of today. Yeah. If you can think of it, it most probably exists. We already said that it'll last between 10 to 20 sessions, most probably. Feats. I like to do this rule where feats are something that you can get in replacement of a feature that you get at level 4, which is the next level, because you're all starting at level 3. You all can pick feat. I don't mind replacing with feats, but between the 4 of you, you can't have the same feat. Make sense?
Makes sense.
So yeah. Cool.
So we don't end up with 4 lucky people.
Yes, so we don't end up with 4 lucky people, because the other group
4 lucky
Oh my
halflings.
yeah. The other group has lucky and chronal shift, which basically means that they can re-roll their d20s 5 times a day collectively, which is super broken, but they're super unlucky, so I'm cool with it. They're really unlucky.
It sounds like they just don't want to roll dice.
There was once a variance with like chronal shift and lucky and inspiration that I have is you can re-roll the die afterwards and pick any of the dice you've rolled, right? And there was once the player who is lucky re-rolled everything, like he used all 3 of his luckies, and the number just kept getting lower and lower. Imagine re-rolling something 3 times and just keeps getting rolled. Like, I'm just like, it's fate, right? I guess I believe I believe in dice gods. I've pleased them. I've given my sacrifices.
I've sacrificed the required amount of dice.
Yeah.
Speaking of rerolls and rolling dice and such, inspiration, just regular out of the book inspiration, or I've played where you could spend inspiration to reroll, kind of like a lucky point.
I use it like a lucky point. So,
okay.
If you have inspiration, you can use it to reroll any d20 die that is rolled. If I roll it, you can tell me, make me reroll it. If some other player rerolls it, you can make them reroll it as well. As long as it's a d20 die, you can reroll it. Like for instance, there's some d20 rolls where it decides what's happening in the situation. If you don't like what's happening, you can tell me to reroll. Like, I want inspiration to be powerful. What is inspiration, by the way? In our games, I'll be at the end of every game, I'll let chat vote for who was the MVP of the session, or who's the most handsome, or who's the most beautiful, or whatever, right? We'll wing it every week. And then whoever gets the most votes gets inspiration for the next session. Right? If you don't use it,
inspiration. Indeed. Okay.
Excuse me. Oh my gosh, it's peppermint. It's a lot of peppermint. So use your inspiration to re-roll, or if you don't spend the inspiration by the end of the session, I'll count it as the lowest tier goal in experience. So regardless, you still benefit.
Oh.
So again, I like to be deadly, so you might want to use it during some of the combats.
going to die. I can already feel it. I can feel it in my soul. My character's gonna die. We're just gonna start the game and she's gonna die. I don't even know how to.
Panda, think about
Stepped
it.
on a
this
very
way.
deadly. Stepped on a very deadly beetle.
No.
Once your character
Yeah.
dies, you can make another one.
Who will die again?
Character creation is the funnest part of D&D.
It's also the part where you spend the most time. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Mm,
Ain't that true?
okay, advantage, disadvantage, and ability check. So, just quick explanation. Advantage is you roll 2 d20s and you take the higher number. Disadvantage is the opposite. You roll 2 d20s and you take the lower number. If you all are trying to do the same thing, like persuade the shopkeeper to lower the price, at most I'll allow 2 rolls. So 1 advantage roll or 2 people rolling normal rolls, so that we don't end up just rolling like 5 d20s to do the same thing, because obviously the more you roll, the more likely you are to succeed. Group checks, you will, so there's this term called DC, difficulty class. Basically it's a number that you need to roll equal to or higher in order to beat it, right? So let's say if I ask you all to roll for stealth, right, which is basically hiding, and I say the DC is 14, we'll do a group roll where all of you roll your die, and if a majority of you roll above 14, you all succeed as a group. If a majority of you fail below 14, then all of you fail as a group. And then just to make things a little fun, if you roll a 20, it counts as 2 successes, and if you roll a 1, it counts as 2 fails.
So what happens if we have 2 successes and 2 fails?
Generally speaking, it's oh wait, for 4 of you, it's possible.
Yep.
Then we'll look. I usually start looking at the differences. Like, did you fail more or did you succeed more? It's a bit arbitrary, but I'll be explicit about it. For instance, if let's say
You will be
DC is 14.
explicit about your arbitrariness. Okay.
Yeah. We will explicitly discuss why you fail or why you succeed. Like, for instance, the example I wanted to give was, let's say the DC is 14, 2 of you roll 14, and then 2 of you roll like a 6 and a 4, right? Then it kind of failed a bit more than you succeeded, right? And it's a really thin rule. If at any point you all have like a better ruling for this, please let me know. Critical hits, only for attacking. Right, so if you roll a natural 20, you're only guaranteed a hit if there's only crits for when you're attacking and you want to hit a character. Oh, what's up, Cam? Let's say if you make an ability check, like you're trying to lift up something, and if it's an athletics roll, if you roll a natural 20 but it's still below the difficulty class, you still fail. Okay. That being said, generally speaking, it's not very common to have extremely high DCs like that, and if it's really high, I'll just tell you it's most probably too high to succeed. Magic items. If there's any specific magic item that you really want, let me know, and then I'll see how I can weave it in. That being said, I like to come up with my own like made up magic items, and I try my best to make it compatible with your character and make it exciting.
Yes.
This is tarot.
No, like.
Magic
animated
item
spellbook.
cards. Yeah,
Or,
animated spellbook.
Is it
Well,
animated
it
spellbook
is,
or is it?
No,
items?
this is the deck of many things.
Decks of-
You were
yeah.
talking about
Oh, it's a
magic
deck of many.
items, I wanted to-
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that thing.
I have a weird rule for spells. I think this is more important to Rhorik and Snowch. The typical ruling is, oversimplified version, you can cast a leveled spell and a cantrip in a turn.
Yeah.
Right? I have the exception that you can, if you cast a level 2 or higher spell, with your other action, you can cast a level 1 or lower. Yeah.
Cool.
That being said, like if you cast a level 4 spell, you can't cast a level 3 spell. It has to be a level 1 spell. Makes you all spellcasters a bit more powerful. And the last
I'm
topic.
not sure if there's a way to break that, and I'm not the person to try to break things, so I think it'll be fine.
There definitely is. I can already think of a few things, but I'm not gonna do them.
I trust y'all.
We're all in agreement that Snoch is in fact a wizard.
In real life.
Real life. Real life.
I mean,
Makes sense.
yeah.
The last topic for the session 0 before we go to the fun part of character creation and rolling the dice is death and resurrection and resting. So character dies, your character dies. There's no save point. There's no I mean, there is technically speaking resurrection, the spell, which is possible in the future. If you, let's say your character dies, you roll up a new character and you really miss your old character, it is possible, but we have to make sure the narrative fits. You bring your character back to life for some reason, and usually we'll make some cost for it to make it interesting. That being said, if you do have some kind of resurrection spell, if your character has been dead for more than a minute, and this is like mechanics, I just want to be explicit about it. Regardless of the spell, if you have been dead for more than a minute, your character has to roll a d20 and beat a 10 in order to successfully reconnect the soul to the body. For every subsequent death, you plus 5 to the DC. It becomes more difficult to revive each time. Resting, short rests are as per normal, 1 hour. Long rests are as per normal, 8 hours. You can only long rest once per day, and for most characters, you need to sleep. And that's it for the main session 0 stuff. Now we're going to character creation. How y'all feeling?
Okay, so far.
The brain, just a check. You already know?
Yep.
I think we can look at Snoch's character first, since
He knows.
already there.
Yeah.
Grumble Maw. A Kobold Artificer. Armorer Artificer.
What you can imagine is literally Kobold's Iron Man, pretty much. It all started with a very shitty roll, and then I just looked for something that only needs 1 stat. And turns out, if you have smarts, you can build stuff. And you can build an armor for yourself.
Oh yeah. Oh, Snaz, did you were you able to access Foundry? Or is it
Not
still
yet,
locked?
but I'll no, because I need, like, I know, like, I'm up at the I have my Chrome flags open, but I just need a walkthrough for it. If you guys have like a tutorial somewhere that I can look at, I can do that also.
Just like search for open WebGL. There's like 2 options, just like Control F and then WebGL. One is like flags, so the other one, I think.
I realized the only thing that we need to do today is roll for the stats. Rhorik is already in, so I think we can have Rhorik roll for the stats. And then from there, since we have Kobold Iron Man, we can roll all the stats, and then we can come up with our characters.
How are we
it
rolling?
It should be
for stats?
WebGL compute, Snazzy.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it, so like I said, we could talk off
Okay.
session.
Yeah, we'll talk off stream. So for characters, you usually do 4d6, drop the lowest, or if you are risk averse, and you can do point buy.
You didn't give me that option, did you?
I'm not.
But everyone always rolls. That's why maybe I forgot. I'm so sorry, Snow.
And I would have still rolled, but it was just like, because of the stat roll I got, I'm just kind of.
Oh, is there a roll 4, keep 3?
Just
command?
do 46 K3
A3.
or D1.
Yeah.
Depending on how you think about it. Keep 3 or drop 1.
Yeah. Which is a
Oh, I
keep
see.
3 kind of guy. I'm a drop 1 kind of guy.
I'm gonna keep 3.
Yeah, I think in the
Half full,
positives.
Yeah. Keep the best. So what was this roll? Is there a way? So I know in roll 20 it like brings up what was rolled.
You can
Like
click on it on the
Yeah.
the 13 and well. Do the
On
things
the
like-
4d6
Sure,
number
it shows,
and then
like,
no.
individual the 4.
So it is
were-
11.
Do you want me to keep this roll or should I just re-roll?
I don't mind if you reroll.
Okay, because now I have the right command.
Yeah.
Slash
Oh,
R.
do I still have to? Do I still?
Slash R
so-
space 46 K3.
Yeah. So for Panda and Stans as well in the future, if there's a dice roll that's not in your sheet, it's slash R space the number of die, D, and then the sides of the die. And then 46K3 is how we just roll for stats. Oh, 2 11s? 3 11s?
What is going on, Rhorik? Are you just gonna be a commoner? Please roll. Yes. We have one good, kind
got
of
that.
good stat.
That's all we need in this game. One good stat. Alright. I'll take it.
So 11 is bad?
love it
Josh,
very
average. It's like
Joshy,
it's I think
By the
I
way,
think
I'm
on
just gonna
4
like ask, how do you handle raids and stuff during these streams?
So in game, I just thank them on chat, but we don't.
Mhm.
If it's really big, I'll say thank you on stream. Generally speaking, if it's in a weird moment, I'll say thank you. If it's in like an intense moment, then I'll say thank you on chat, so that it doesn't break the story. It's super on the fly kind of thing. If we should have a structure for it, like we can totally talk about it as well. Afterwards.
pre and post break is like probably a good time.
Yeah, and I always thank pre and post break as well. Oop. Kev gave a hydrate, so I should hydrate. Oh my god, I missed Seth's subs.
You missed a lot.
Did they raid me?
Yes.
What the fuck, Seth?
That's why I was just like, are you gonna say something or like I need to
Oh
ask?
my god,
like,
Seth!
what are we doing
I
here?
didn't see that. Dude, Seth. Thank you so much, Seth, for all the subs. Thank you, Vin and Phobos. Enjoy your edgelords and your Moku lulls. There'll be one new one coming after this stream. I'm gonna see which one got the most votes. Yes, if it's like super spam like during sessions like session zeros like this, please just let me know, because sometimes I'm too engrossed in the conversation and I miss out stuff.
All right.
But in
Too
the
excited
actual
about
game,
potential character creation.
Hmm?
Too excited about potential character creation. I know.
yeah, I got totally excited. But during actual games, I usually thank before and after break, and before the end or after the end. Like,
Cool.
when I say thanks, when people follow off stream, I usually at the start. That's the first thing I do. Thank them. Cool beans. Wow. Rhorik, so what do you think you want to play with in 11, 11, 7, 10, 15?
Not a clue. I already didn't know what I was gonna play, and this has changed nothing. I'm like, oh, maybe if I get a couple good stats or whatever. But yeah, I think average is actually 12 on 4d6 keep 3.
It's
So,
like
So you're
one
below
above
that.
average stat. Oh yeah. Oh, it's it's not great. But this is
Oh,
what
this
the
would be so
Chaos Gods
fun.
have willed for me, so I'll do it.
I believe Snowch rolled really bad too. He rolled
So
8.
I started off pretty good. I was just like 12, 13, 8, 9, 8, 16. To give you like an idea, like
No.
minimum is 3, maximum is 18, right? And like 12 is about average.
Okay, Sam, we'll roll it when we set up the whole WebGL thing. Another thing that you can do on Foundry, Panda, if you click in the chat box, right, and if you press up key
Up.
once, it takes the latest formula on the list.
Neat.
So you don't need to
Definitely.
Type it all in. I definitely like
I think it only takes
copied
your
it
last
and did
one,
like
though.
Control V roll, Control V roll.
Oh,
I think it only
That'll
copies
work.
your
It
last
should-
input.
oh, it might copy your last input.
No.
Okay. I think another thing you can do is actually, do you see a cube, a square at the bottom? Underneath the chat?
Oh, a bunch of shapes at the bottom.
Yeah, a bunch of shapes at the bottom. You can just click on the square 4 times.
And then write K3 at the end of it.
Okay.
And then write K3 afterwards.
Touching each other. And then do I click roll?
Yeah,
I don't want to roll. I
or
feel
you
like
can
I'm
press
gonna roll
enter,
a
that's
weird
fine as
character
well.
now. I'm scared now.
No,
You will be
may
fine.
the luck I didn't have go to you.
That's an 11.
Eleven's not bad.
That's a
How many
solid
times
11.
am I
Yeah.
rolling?
6
Oh,
times
once?
total.
How many times must I go for?
Ooh.
Oh, nice, nice. 4 more, 4 more.
14.
Nice.
Oh,
15. Ooh.
5,
Solid rolls.
7.
6. Ooh.
13.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
You know
good.
what?
That's actually pretty
I
good.
like this. The 2 experienced players
pretty
got
good.
shit stats. Oh, Panda got decent ones.
all right.
7th grade.
Yeah.
Doing
Mhm.
good.
So basically, Panda, that means you're less likely to die.
Well,
I'm less likely.
Less likely to die.
Yes. Okay. That's great.
So, just an example. So we have our Kobold Iron Man, Snouch.
Cobalt Iron and Snooch. That sounds like an epic title.
In Grumble Maw. He already made your 3 what's it called again? NPCs. I didn't copy it over yet.
Okay.
I remember one of them's the French orc.
Yes, French orc chef, who I
A
used
French
to
orc chef.
help out in the kitchen
Um,
during his shows.
then if you remember the other 2, I'll type it out here now on the document. But if not, I'll just
I only
do it
remember
afterwards.
that one of them was like a hobgoblin that I was scared of to like
Oh yeah.
to death.
So,
I don't remember the like friend or ally one.
it might be like a teacher or something, but I'll just copy it from the other document.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's move on to like Rhorik2's character. I believe that you said you wanted to like send chat a vote. That's what you told me.
I'm trying to like think of the. Yeah, I was gonna have chat vote on my like top 3 ideas. So I was thinking like a kobold sorcerer,
Sorcerer. Not sorcerer.
and this next one is kind of like dependent on the world. For us, color good, yes. Josh?
Kobold as well.
No, I mean, that one I didn't have a race set up. That's it's a scribe wizard for that one, but like color based, rainbowy and whatnot. Or
Do you like rainbow?
a spore druid.
Or druid, yeah.
Neat.
Thanks, Shin, for the follow.
Two of them, the two non-wizard options will have healing, because I was thinking.
Yeah.
Is a celestial cleric or sorcerer.
Thanks, Exhausted Dragon, for the follow. Do you want me to put it into vote?
Sure, yeah. A poll.
What? Yeah, the poll. Sorry. Yeah,
I
poll.
can come back.
Poll. What should Rhorik play? Question mark. Scribe wizard.
I was gonna full
Color.
so I was gonna bump my mic.
Spore druid or sorcerer.
Just like name it Rainbow Wizard.
Okay,
Rainbow wizard.
rainbow
I don't even
wizard.
know, like what he would be, but I was drawn to the scribe wizard's ability to change elements. So you just like turn fire into ice and whatnot, but he'd also have like a prismatic spray and other things like that. Illusion maybe.
Okay. So while
then the
that
spore
poll
druid.
is going,
Mushroom man.
Can't felt.
Mushroom Man, yeah. Rainbow Wizard, Mushroom Man, or the Holy Sorcerer, right?
yeah.
Sorcerer. His power.
Sorcerer.
Feel free to cast your votes, chat. Oh, rainbow wizard is actually pretty popular. I thought sorcerer would be bigger.
Yeah, kobold sorcerer. And kobold, Snowch playing a kobold had me think of my kobold sorcerer that I played. Sneak peek of that in one of the games previous.
Ooh.
Just so we
Mushroom
can
Man
let it
is
simmer for a bit. Snaz, you said you wanted to do like a fighter or something like that, right?
Yeah, something along those lines, something simple.
Fighter.
Yes.
I feel like fighters don't really need a lot of stats, so I'm not too worried about your stats here.
I'm
I
kind of
mean, can someone like roll for me for now, or do you want to just save it for later?
whose luck do you
I
trust
mean, if
most?
yeah, like I don't trust any of the luck except Panda, maybe. If
I can pull up. I can pull up a
Well, no,
virtual
I-
D20. Like I can pull up virtual D20s and just roll them if we want.
It's
Oh,
46s.
Do you want me
40
to
seems
roll
like
it for you,
Yeah.
Snazzy? I would do.
I
are
trust
you,
Snowch. I
Do
trust
you
Snowch to roll
agree
all twos for
to
me.
take whatever falls on the
don't do it.
table when I roll?
No, don't
Yes.
do it. Don't do
Roll
it.
the
Yes.
twos, man. Do it. Do it. Hit me.
16.
Not
7.
bad.
Oh,
7.
Ooh.
15.
My word. Hey.
Well.
It's not bad so far.
15.
I'm
You
not
have
actually not that
16,
bad.
15,
That's-
15, 12, and 7. That screams barbarian to me. That's like. Just have
I'll take
really
those. I'll
bad
take those stats
wisdom.
any day.
Yeah, int wiz or charisma at 7s.
Oh my god, I think we need to restart the poll. There is
what
a,
happened?
we literally have 7 votes for Rainbow Wizard and 7 votes for Mushroom Man.
That
I
the
guess
one
you're-
person who voted sorcerer has to break the tie, right? I think is that the rule.
Yeah. Whoever voted for sorcerer, you could pick between rainbow
I
and
don't
spore
know
druid.
Can we tell who that person was?
I don't think we can tell. But that being said, right? I guess Rhorik, you have to multi-class.
No, there's a thought.
I'm kidding. You can pick one of the two, I guess. If someone. Oh, Seamus, which one do you want to vote for? Since you didn't vote. Seamus hasn't voted, so we can wait for Seamus.
Yeah, that is the vote breaker.
Yeah, between Rainbow Wizard and Spore Druid. I mean, fighter is still fine for Snaz. It's a matter of, do you want to be more like strength based or do you want to be more dexterous? Dexterous
thinking-
meaning like longbow and like
Right.
ranged weapons and smaller weapons, lighter weapons.
I was thinking strength based probably, or more of a brawler. I guess would be the closest thing I think of. Barbarian probably counts, I guess.
I kind of have to like ask, like, do you want to have the like skilled trained fighter archetype or the raging monster archetype?
Like trained, but not like
Do you want to
elite.
be
He's
Conan,
not like a
or do you
super
want
soldier.
to be? I can't think of a good fighter off the top of my head right now. Aragorn. No, he's a ranger.
He's a ranger. I was about to say like
Oh.
that counts.
Do you want to
So,
be
I think for
The guy
Conan
from
or
Willow,
Gimli?
the best swordsman.
I think sort of like an in betweeny kind of thing. That was sort of that was my idea anyway.
Okay.
Was like that. My character would definitely have fighter training, but not necessarily be like a professional soldier or something like that. Very much to sort of just like on fly by the seat of his pants, battle axe in hand, kind of deal. That was my initial ideas for it. I'm obviously like flexible to fitting that into the group.
I feel like this is a more mechanical way of determining it, but do you want to wear armor or not?
Yes.
Okay, barbarians wear medium, at most they wear medium armor, but they usually don't wear armor. So
Yeah,
we'll
I would say like leather or something. Yeah, like not,
we'll
not a lot of
definitely
armor,
go.
just a, you know.
It'll definitely go with some kind of fighter archetype. But what is the
Yes.
most like muscle fighter kind of subclass? Oh my
Champion?
gosh.
Champion?
Yeah,
There's
champion.
another way to frame it, I think.
Can
is
we?
Like,
Oh my
there's-
god!
there's-
Can we?
How did you learn
Josh.
your abilities? Skill and training, or like intuition and like the way of your people,
So
ancestors, spirits?
my initial thoughts for the character were like half orc, so I was gonna go with like training and then possibly like just going out and pillaging shit. Right? That's like that's his experience. Is like he had somebody teach him how to swing an axe, but then he went out and swung an axe. Right? That's the
So practice.
practice. Yeah, I guess is the.
Okay.
What would
And
you want
again,
to
he
say,
wouldn't
Snowch?
necessarily be like in my head like he wasn't like what's the word, graceful per se. Like he doesn't necessarily have all the fighting skills. He just has spirit. He has spunk. He's willing to throw down if it.
I was just going
If
to
he
say
needs to.
like muscle wizard barbarian. Let's do it. I cast fist.
I can send you. I can send you the PDF, and you can think about it if you want.
I think like
I forgot I was.
what might help is like, do you want to rely on your armor deflecting things, or do you want to rely on you literally just not being bothered by hits?
A little from column A, a little from column B.
In the middle.
Please
I think it's
say
a half
which
orky-
one is
Well, that's
your...
still. I feel like that leans
Yeah.
towards barbarian because like fighter
Yeah.
doesn't really do column B at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I like that idea.
There's a long list of barbarians.
Ooh.
So I'll send it to you, and then we'll fix
Yeah.
everything up off stream. We'll focus more on like the narrative stuff.
Yep.
Last but certainly not least, okay, you picked half orc, sorry, and barbarian.
Yeah, that sounded good in my head, so I can go with that.
Do you have a race for your rainbow wizard?
Not yet. I'm taking a look at them.
Also, by the way, for the racial ability scores, right? Specifically for Rhorik, I do the you can move your pluses around that Tasha's has. Okay, for Panda, when we talked about it, you said you wanted to be a rogue.
Yeah,
right?
I'm settled.
You
I
said
think it's good.
remind me what you wanted to do. You wanted to be sneaky, assassinate,
Yeah.
assassinate.
So if she had to fight like a monster alone, she would struggle.
Yeah. It's
That's
alone. She will struggle. Do you have like a race in mind?
No. So help me, please.
Like culturally, I like to ask: do you want to be from this continent or do you want to be from another continent? First thing.
Oh damn. Where's everyone else coming from?
Kobolds are from southern I mean, that doesn't help, but they're from a southern continent where they're loved like lizard-esque humanoids, so like lizard folk, dragonborn. There's a lot of cultural stuff there, but I don't think really affects how the kobold will work. There are orcs in this region. There are also orcs in another continent. So I'm most probably talk to Snazzy about that when we talk about the background. Those are the two so far. So they're both. One of them is definitely not from this continent, at least not immediately. Might be first, second, third, or whatever generation in this continent, and then it's possible for Snazzy to have been from this continent.
I mean, which is less complicated, or does it not matter?
Doesn't matter because it's all background, so it's all story that happened before the very first game.
Oh lordy. This is too complicated now.
Artificer, yeah, there's too many choices.
There's so many choices.
Yeah, but
I
that's
just
why
want
it's
to
like
say she's from there. I think that will, yeah.
he's from
I'm
there.
leaning
Okay.
towards that.
Yeah. So I'm trying to give like yes or no questions so that we can narrow it down. Do you like elements like fire, wind, or not?
If you're gonna make her, I don't want her to be magic. I don't want that extra stress
Okay.
in my life.
Then we'll
I
most
like
probably
elements, but
we'll most probably go with human, orc, or half orc. The other mundane option that is native to this area are Kenku, which it's complicated to play. They can't talk. They can only mimic.
wait, what?
So a Kenku, they're like raven folk. They're like
Birds? No, no.
yeah.
Oh shoot. I was thinking like a peacock Aarakocra, but if you hate birds. So.
No, it's okay. My character and I are two separate people, but as long as I don't have to look at it.
But yeah,
There
that's
is-
fair.
There is, however, in this region, flamenco.
Is that a flamingo? And
Yeah, flamingo.
Did you
Kenku.
really?
Uh,
Did you really create that?
it's canon. It's canon. I mean, I just use Kenku stats, of course, but it's canon.
Flamenco. Do they dance
Well-
flamenco as well?
The same.
They may or
talking
may
stuff,
not.
or-
When you meet a flamenco, you'll know. Yes,
Can I
they
change
do.
my
They
race
actually
real
do.
quick?
Yeah. It's not canon until session 1. Nothing's canon until session 1. So I think it is 1.5 hours into the session, so we can take like a 5 to 10 minute break, and then Panda, you can let it simmer and think about whether you want human, half orc, or orc. Those are the native races here, and then while that's happening, I'll run an ad and P, grab your water. I hope you all are enjoying this as much as I am, and I'm gonna spam the commands for each of these lovely people's channels, so do give them a follow as well while we are I almost said grab your pee again, while we are using the toilet.
wait, what?
Nothing, I didn't say anything. Y'all.
I wasn't gonna draw attention to it, but now that you have,
Like now that you have, yeah, I'm just gonna. What did you just say?
now it's free game. Now it's like,
Thanks, Young Jisoo,
What
for the
did you
follow.
say?
Who's awesome. You're awesome. Let's take a break. So
All right.
fast click the button before I say
Yes.
anything else.
Yes. Yes. All right. Talk to you soon.